I'm sure I don't know what you mean about royalty-free music. Yes, hello. Let's see. But yeah, got a little tired of Dead Cells, I'm not gonna lie. Fun game, but I don't want to make myself sick of it. So want to try something a little more relaxed. Tell me what you think of the music balancing. I think I got it right, but if it sounds bad at any point, just let me know. Let's see. Little game. Chapter 1. Yes, yes. Sounds good? Okay. I have to make sure, because on my end, it sounds totally different. Oh!
Thrilled, Miss Pendray.
You know, I don't think she's gonna be so thrilled.
The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold? Harold?
Harold can't hear you, sir.
Harold? You hear me? This is no time for fun and games.
I know it's getting stolen. There's a spotlight on it and everything.
Shh, calm down. I'm a copper. We're on the same side.
A copper? What are you doing here? And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh, turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But how do you know?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we catch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
Do you understand? You and me, mate, we'll be heroes. All right, now, we just have to...
Good job. Great job. 10 out of 10. Amazing.
Halt! Stop! You're under arrest!
You know, I don't think they caught him. Just throwing that out there. It's funny to think that this was top line graphics at one point, and everyone would have been like, yeah, this is perfect. With this music, I'm just kind of like half expecting this train to just suddenly grow a face, you know? Yeah, no, there's the way it's all designed with graphics and everything. I'm just waiting for a face to grow on the front of the train. Yeah, that guy had such a serious look. Oh my goodness, this paper that this thing is written on is so high fidelity.
Hands up!
I don't have time to play. I'm on duty.
Reading a murder novel. That's so on duty.
You're funny, but you don't look like a real cop. You don't even have a revolver.
It's Europe. Who are you?
What's your name, boy?
My name is Matthew Miller,
And where are you from, Matthew Miller?
from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. But my mom and I live in England now. She's taking care of some rich old lady. We're on our way to Venice at the moment. We're taking a cruise on a big ship.
Impressive. You've already seen half the world. I've spent my entire life in Switzerland.
Must be really boring.
Great. Wow. Okay. Well, he's a kid.
And what's with the gun? What do you need it for?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown jewels with rhinestones.
I know who the Raven was. Although I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels.
Boy, them rhinestone crowns, though. Okay,
You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum. There was an explosion. A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what the papers say?
a lot of things, really.
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Poirot's secret evil lookalike.
Gun on you.
No, monsieur.
Get a move on.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with a celebrity like you.
We appreciate the support of the Swiss police, but it'd be better if you'd remain seated and keep an eye on things.
Oh, thanks.
But, monsieur, surely I can be of assistance somehow. I saw a safe being loaded.
We have everything under control. If you'll excuse me, I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
Famous last words. We have everything under
I'm
control.
here to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finally honed powers of deduction.
Whoa. What is
Thanks to that?
I watched.
Wait a
on the
second.
platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more impressive if there weren't a violin case next to him.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
Maybe he's just taking a holiday in Italy, following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
All right then, Constable...
Zellner.
Constable Zellner. If you're such a clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
Well, besides having a tacky frame rate and stream, does it look all jittery to you guys? I just want to make sure that's not my preview window freaking out. Let's see. A little, but not too bad. It is perfectly fine on my end, so that's quite vexing. Well, I highly doubt he's on holiday if he loaded a safe up with other police people and has everything quote-unquote under control. Alright. Well, we'll see if it gets better. Maybe it's just OBS being funky. Let's see, he's guarding something.
I think you're guarding something.
Oh, really? And what might it be?
The The easy answer or a guess? Well, I'd say I don't know.
I really couldn't say. But it must be very important.
Why is that?
Because you are very important. They wouldn't have assigned the case to you if it were just a trifle.
Let's assume that we really are transporting something very important on this train. And let's assume that it really is my job to see that it arrives safely. Then why isn't the train crawling with police?
Hang on, folks. Okay, so I think what's going on is it's how I'm recording. It's causing it to wig out a little. It's gotten better though. I don't know what I touched, but it got better. Let's see. I would say, why wouldn't he have so many men? That would be. It's a trap. No, probably. Well, it's a cramped quarters. Too many. You'd just be spilling over each other.
There are enough police on this train as it is. If there were more, they'd only get in each other's way.
I can assure you that I'd pack every seat in every carriage of this train with police, if it were a matter of deterrence.
Do you have something to
You're
prove?
saying you don't want to scare off potential thieves? Ah, you're laying a trap.
That would explain why it's just me, and not the army, n'est-ce pas? All the same, I can't comment on your speculation. Well, that is impressive, I admit. But the fewer people involved, the better. We'll get along fine without you.
You won't.
Won't? Pardonnez-moi.
I can help. And I will help. You're in my country.
I will
I'm
help.
ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do. Whether you like it or not.
Clever and stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zellner. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know? Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself, and you were just pretending to put two and two together.
And what of it? Do you know who that is? That's
Everyone knows detective work is
Inspector
50%
Nicholas
deception.
You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me? To the very policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa, it was him?
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either. All right, Matthew. I have to do my work now.
Everyone calls me Matt. Well, except for my mom. She calls me Maddie, as if I were a little kid.
You will always be a little kid. This is the curse of children. Their mothers
Whether
never
the
look
man
beyond
wants my
that.
help or not, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe I can change his mind.
Alright, do you want to learn about the game controls? Sure. To examine them, just click on the sandwich paper on the... Okay.
This morning, I thought I wouldn't be hungry because of all the excitement. Thankfully, I bought a sandwich with me anyway.
If you move the mouse over the sandwich again, you'll see that the cursor shape has changed, and the text at the bottom says, take sandwich paper. Oh. Open the inventory again and right-click on the sandwich paper.
I wrapped the apple core in the sandwich paper. That way I can carry it without making a mess of my trouser pocket. Still, I'd prefer not to have to carry them all day.
Side, left-click like that, and then...
napkin came with the croissant I bought at the train station. A guilty pleasure. I don't need that either.
A croissant. I wish I could pronounce that properly. Let's get rid of it. Dump the litter from your inventory into the ashtray. I don't think that ashtray is going to... Really?
All right.
That was so... that was such an irresponsible way to do away with trash.
The Vicarage in the Mirror. A detective novel by my favorite author, Lady Clarissa Westmacott. For years now, I've been trying to convince my theater group to stage one of her plays.
Let's see.
The violinist is a good-looking fellow, and he's traveling through the most beautiful mountain landscape in the world. But one can only hope that his violin is better tuned than he. Hello, sir.
Hello.
If I'm not mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that case, I'm probably not one of the best.
Ah, yes, the mounds of money that you make in a solo career in any profession. That's just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Leaving a message for the other guy. Ah, this is what I think of your detective skills. Trash. Okay, no. Where is he traveling to?
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship. I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm performing at the reception in the Egyptian Museum there.
Hmm.
I'm sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order, sir. We Swiss are just very cautious people.
I understand. No, I didn't notice anything.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Ah, yes, he is definitely hiding something. Oh, there's a menu up here with a notebook. Return of the Raven. Ah, a rather valuable ruby was stolen from the British Museum in London. One of the two legendary eyes of the Sphinx. The press is in a tizzy, as one might expect. They blame the new Raven for besmirching the reputation of the old Raven. Oof, that typo. The old Raven Pierre, as the latter never harmed a soul during his exploits. Ah. Wait, that can't be all. Come on. Nicholas Legrand. Oh boy. My goodness. Anton is a very good artist. Why is he a policeman? He could do both. The Raven, it must be said, was greatly esteemed by the public for his clever, daring robberies. The copycat criminal has plagued us for several months now. Though the imitator leaves raven feathers at the scenes of his crimes, his thefts exhibit none of the original Raven's refinement and gamesmanship. The last 3 robberies have resulted in a total of 5 casualties, one of them severely injured, though by the grace of God, no deaths. Scotland Yard, Interpol, and Inspector Legrand could not be reached for comment. Oh, it's translating the news clipping. Nice. Legrand looks different in person, older, more worn. He's still a successful detective, but there are rumors that his methods in recent years have become, shall we say, reckless. Legrand seems to be laying a trap for the new Raven. I should try to find out more about his plans. The violinist. There's a man with a violin case sitting in the passenger car. He claims to be a soloist. Seems to be rather worse for the wear. His hands shake. On his way to Venice, he says. Then on to Cairo by ship to give a concert at the Egyptian Museum. Interesting. Can I go this way?
Very kind of you. Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucian. Professor Edgar Lucian.
Oh, a professor. Are you a scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
Well, there was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
There was an explosion at your museum, and it didn't concern you?
2,000 years concerns me.
Seriously? Part of your building explodes, and you're just like, those darn kids. What in the world?
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No. Well, why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
No.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just, I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable. What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
We'll sort it out.
Have you tried turning the handle?
The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
I'm having compartmentalized withdrawals. Sometimes it's better to just let the explosions go. It's already happened. Nothing you can do.
I don't believe it.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable...
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure.
Okay, let's get back to this comment. Sometimes it's better to just let the explosions go. It's already happened. Nothing you can do. Might as well clean up and move on. Besides, he obviously needed a bigger window for his office. I don't know. He seems like he's really afraid to be in the outside world. I don't know. Let's see. What are you doing here, ma'am?
May I ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Part 2 is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't...
Spoilers!
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine.
Pato! Harold Pato, I bet. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's see. And actually, spoiler alert for anyone who has not read Poirot. How could you not? In the books later on, the author Agatha Christie actually goes through she gets so sick and tired of writing Poirot mystery novels that she just has him die in the last one, just kills him off. So it's like someone can't say, go write another one. And she's like, no, I killed him. Oh, that is a good little touch right there to keep that accurate like that.
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there, we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled
A
to
penchant?
my ship as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle tried to do the same thing to Holmes. Yeah, I can totally see it, because those, like, these types of books, murder mysteries, they get just absolutely devoured. But then at the same time, you end up having a situation where, yeah, you just have to kind of be like, kill off the character so people stop saying, please make another one. Which really makes me worried about Kingdom Hearts now that I think about it, because it's literally going to get to the case where they have to kill off Sora, and who knows what Disney is going to do with that. I mean, they've clearly tried to kill off Sora before, at least twice, and it's just not sticking. So, but yeah, it's a sad thing. Some things become so commercially viable that you have to kill them before they turn into some horrible thing.
As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner.
Did you feel less in?
Most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
All right, so we've got we've got our Poirot lookalike. Or Kingdom Hearts could try and just make their convoluted story make sense and wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, they could, but I doubt they will. Because, one, is Square Enix. I've never seen them have that many continuity storylines that didn't exist in, like, you know, a single game format. And then, then there's the problem of Disney. There's Disney. Disney will not let anything die. If they think they could squeeze 3 pennies out of it, they are going to go for those 3 pennies. It's just, they're a business. They're in it for the money. And, yeah. they'll do whatever it takes in that regard. And since they half own Kingdom Hearts, they own most of the movies that take place in that. You know, they're gonna milk it for all it's worth. Not to mention, I heard this terrifying concept that someone might try to just make all of that Disney might try to force Kingdom Hearts to just have an entire game where all the worlds are the live action movies. And I felt a part of my soul die when I heard that theory. Because let's be honest, it would be so. How unexciting would it be? Interesting. That's a polite way to describe something soul-rending. It would certainly be interesting, but at the same time, I'm terrified because if they do that kind of nonsense, then we have to realize that means they're going to bring in that funky. They're gonna have to try and make music for live-action Agrabah. And oh no, even if there's nobody actually rapping to the music, it's going to be a mix of the Arabian music, a splash of jazz, and then the hip hop. And I don't have the stomach for that. I don't think a lot of people have the stomach for that. Anyway, back to this. Happier Times. Yes, the jazz is good. It's the other parts mixed in that are not mixed in well enough. Well, actually, I don't know. The music writer I don't have the right term, but the lovely lady who does the music on Kingdom Hearts, she could probably make that work. Let's see. Anyway, let's ask about this archaeologist.
The man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course.
He seemed nervous. Well, he's had too much tea. The caffeine's getting to him.
Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
Certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression.
Oh no.
Him drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
Oh! Oh, that was beautiful right there. And have you seen The Violinist?
Did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot.
Hey, they rhyme.
Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I gotta get out of here before she realizes something.
You seem so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it? Your chance?
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
Oh, man, don't... Aww.
Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. Very diligent. But she does seem a little nervous and tense. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And a difficult boss, from what they say.
Ooh. Let me see. I think there's a control thing here. No. Yeah. Yeah, there is. If I tap space bar, then it shows what I can look at.
The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
Can I have them? Thank you.
Butterscotch. I've loved them since I was a child. Their only drawback, they don't play nice with false teeth. I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence.
Well, he certainly can't object if he's not there.
The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today.
What's this now? A toothpick, the first part of your ingenious machine you'll use to save the day at the end of Act 3. Or was that MacGyver? You never know. Point and clicks have a lot of fun with nonsense like that.
It keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. Where could he be? Maybe if I just suck it.
We're never going to say that sentence again.
Mr.
Zellner.
Right. How can I help you?
Well, how can I help you? Oh, I don't think these accents are real.
Tell me, did you notice anything suspicious here on the train or in Zurich?
You mean, except for the fact that my suitcase was stolen on the platform? No. Is there any reason to be concerned?
No, just routine.
Constable Zellner, please don't think I'm naive. I spotted the inspector from Interpol. Legard is his name, if I recall correctly. If you say so. At the train station in Zurich, he put a cash box into the safe, and then kept close watch as it was loaded onto the train. Don't tell me that a man at his pay grade routinely tramps across the Alps just to keep an eye on cash boxes.
A cash box? Like the ones you'd find in safe deposit boxes?
Precisely. And I believe we both have a good idea just what's inside.
You know, how is this like the greatest of public knowledge? I mean, I understand that everyone saw it, but seriously?
I do indeed have a theory, but what's yours?
A ruby was stolen in London. One of the legendary Eyes of the Sphinx. The second jewel, an emerald, is rumored to be in a Swiss bank vault, if I remember correctly. Both jewels were supposed to be exhibited together in Cairo for the first time in 50 years. It does make one wonder.
How much they're worth? Yeah.
Indeed. Any news about the robbery in London?
Quite something, wasn't it? It must have been professionals. The way they disabled one of the best security systems in the world. Most impressive.
People were injured.
Well, one cannot execute a robbery of that scale without collateral damage. It seems like the Raven has finally found a worthy successor. We can look forward to new and spectacular coups.
I'm afraid I won't enjoy his exploits this time around if the new Raven is so reckless.
That's your prerogative.
Someone over here likes explosions.
May I borrow your newspaper?
You can take the section with the article on the burglary. You're interested in that bit, aren't you?
You caught me out.
Here you go.
Dankeschön. there's something else. Do you know where the conductor is?
I'd like to know that myself. I told him to search for my missing suitcase in Zurich. He hasn't got back to me yet.
He's still in
probably
Zurich.
in cahoots with the thieves, and didn't bother getting back on the train. If we don't crack down on vermin like them, the rabble will rule the world one day.
Well, at the moment, we still don't know what really happened.
He's not here doing his job. That's bad enough.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
I wish I could share that sentiment. I work in retail. I've run into customers like that. I don't get what I want. Clearly everything is falling apart. How dare. Do I go... Obviously, I do not want to try and climb up there, but do I go this way? Nope, wrong way.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked. No, it's open. Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert.
Oh, it's you.
If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the yard. And this is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
Can we put Robert back in the yard? He wasn't too good at the museum.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo?
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner.
Ah, the fourth wall!
Be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur. What do you know of this Raven's heir?
He tried to blow me up.
Robert, we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event, the new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur?
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And Constable Zellner?
Yes?
Don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Oh, you make it so tempting.
A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood. An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end. The ladder leads up to the roof. It will be suicidal to climb up there while the train is at full speed. The wind, tunnels... No, I'll stay down here.
Fair enough. Boy, I do not know why this game is running so slow on the other end. Apologies about that. Let's see. Wait. Inventory. Let's see. Butterscotch. Toothpick. Lockpick. Oh.
I bought it last week at a flea market. I like it because it tells a story. I suppose the previous owner bought himself a newer one. This one still works just fine, though.
Hmm?
Pills for my heart. I'm supposed to take one if I have trouble. My daughter insisted that I take them with me. She was strongly against this little adventure, but I wasn't about to change my mind. Let's see if there's any news. Blah, 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 blah. Eye of the Sphinx, one of 2 priceless jewels, extraordinary pure ruby, 2000 BC, etc., etc. Old news. And here, shocking burglary. Professional thieves surprised by museum guard Charles Langley and Constable Robert Oliver of Scotland Yard. Explosion. Constable Robert Oliver from Scotland Yard. He was there when the first eye was stolen. Now he's guarding the second one.
Mm-hmm. Don't come any fish here. Can we send them back to the yard? Uh-oh. Hang on, folks. Sorry. Alright, let's see. Apologies, had to... What's this? Announcement? Oh, article.
A story about the upcoming Oscars and Cleopatra's chances of winning. An incredible feat. They built the largest movie set of all time in Rome. And because of the main actress's many illnesses, several changes of director and months of delays, cost shot to over $40 million. The most expensive movie ever made. A record never to be broken. Luna's Drops. The calming herbal liqueur for women. A glass a day. It relaxes the nerves and maintains domestic tranquility. Luna's Drops. If you don't want to bother your husband.
Oh, good grief. It's just liquor. Good night.
John Surtees won the Formula One World Championship for the first time on Saturday. He also won the World Championship in motorcycle racing from 1956 to 1960, making him the only man in motorsports to win world championships in both motorcycle and Formula One events. Not really my cup of tea. Too loud, too fast, too much exhaust. I won't eat any just now. It would be rather embarrassing if I met Legrand and wasn't able to open my mouth because it's been stuck shut, or because I lost some teeth. The wooden toothpicks are packed into small paper wrappers. Nothing unusual.
Nope, nothing doing. Okay. Huh? Oh.
He doesn't make a very balanced impression. And he, of all people, isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum.
Well, I can't pick the lock.
You can easily lock the compartment door from inside.
Stop holding in my hand.
A little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
Professor, If you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
That's true.
Hmm. No, no. I am not interested in the high-speed roof walk later. Thank you. Oh, take the book. I can finally take the book.
Should I ask for an autograph? That will be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand... I like the book. It describes life in a small English village. The characters are lifelike, and you can tell that it's based on the author's own experiences.
Hmm. Meh. Ba-da-dum-ba-dum-ba. Hello, ma'am.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
The little boy, Matt, he's your son?
Oh, yes. Has he done something?
No, no, I've already met him. Clever little fellow.
We always call him Professor because he's so precocious. If only someone could just drive the mischief out of him.
Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
So, nothing out of the ordinary.
No, Constable.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
An extraordinary woman. Talented, intellectual, extremely rich, and the most successful writer of all time. Yet, they say she can be difficult on occasion, and that she's rather unhappy.
And that she probably has really good hearing. Be quiet, dude.
Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
I was wondering if you might...
Sign your book, Constable Zellner?
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience, but only a small one.
Okay, I like that.
You are welcome.
Thank you so very much. Another time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
See, is there anything else in here? Nope.
I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock.
Or a toothpick the lock? No? Oh, wow, there's a lot here.
The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I couldn't believe it. I don't need the pad, but the pencil might come in handy. I'll leave the scissors here. If I need them, a shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years.
They get a lot smaller, dude. Ba-da, ba, ba, ba. Oh crap! I better turn that off. Actually. I don't want to be hit with a copyright strike.
I'd better let him read his newspaper if I don't have any pressing questions.
Hmm. Don't champagne bottles normally have wire on them? Hmm.
Stuart's pencil. Probably one of the most traveled pencils in the world. For brave Constable Anton Jakob Zellner, whose time shall surely come. Clarissa Westmacott, DBE.
Hmm. Nope. Let's see. Is there anything just chilling here? There. Oh.
A box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang, bang!
Child.
Don't move.
Matt, have you gone mad?
I'll shoot. Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past the window.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sure. Now get moving.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
It wasn't a ghost.
Oh, Constable?
Yes, Mom.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope. It's just that he just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
I'm afraid so. He played a trick on me, a rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Maddie is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
He's gone.
I understand.
Could you, leave Maddie's pistol here, perhaps? So you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back until Venice.
Very well. Thank you again, Constable.
Yikes, child. And this is why you don't let kids just do whatever they want. I would have killed myself and many others had I done so as a kid. Where to go next? Actually, I think we'll take a quick break here, folks. I'm gonna go get a drink and such. Top off some stuff, get a little refreshed. I suggest you do the same. Or do whatever you want. I don't care. We're all here to have fun. So I'll talk to you then.